Hi, everyone. My name is Marie Cooper. I'm a senior small business and employee outreach coordinator with the Washington Health Benefit Exchange. My role at the exchange is to support small businesses in understanding their health insurance options that are available through Washington Health Plan Finder. I also support employees that are separating from their employer and are losing their employer-sponsored health insurance, and understanding how they can access coverage through Washington Health Plan Finder and avoid having a gap in their coverage. So as a small business owner, I understand that there is a lot of different options for you in accessing health insurance. And all of that information can feel really overwhelming and confusing to sift through. Unfortunately, I have to say that there isn't one option for small businesses in accessing coverage. There's a lot of different options that are available to you. I'm here today to talk about how a small business owner can access health insurance coverage through Washington Health Plan Finder and support their employees in finding quality coverage. So to provide you some background information, the Washington Health Benefit Exchange operates Washington State's official online health insurance marketplace, Washington Health Plan Finder. This is where 1 out of every 4 Washingtonians accesses high quality health and dental insurance. In a recent study that came out, or recent data that came out from the US Department of Treasury, it showed that 25% of those that are enrolled in a qualified health, qualified dental plan that are small businesses or self-employed are accessing coverage through Washington Health Plan Finder. You can see that there's a lot of small businesses that access their coverage through us. So Washington Health Plan Finder is used by people who are self-employed, employees of a small business that are not offered health insurance, those that work the gig economy, work seasonally, and those that do not yet qualify for Medicare. So if we kind of take that full list and we really try to simplify it, we can say people who are not getting health insurance from their employer, this is a great place for them to come and access their coverage. So what is health insurance? So health insurance is an agreement with the health insurance company to pay for all or some of your medical expenses in exchange for a monthly premium payment. Now, what is a monthly premium payment? So basically that is the amount that you pay an insurance company or insurance carrier each month to keep your insurance active. So why have health insurance? Is health insurance important? Well, I wish we could say that you know when you're going to get sick or when an injury could occur, but unfortunately, we're not able to do that, right? Having a health plan allows for you to be able to seek medical attention when you're ill, and then it also allows for you to get preventative care services such as shots and screenings, so you can also stay healthy. As a small business owner, your health is important. If you were to be gone or out ill for a period of time, is there somebody in your business that can step in and fill in for the things that you do? As a small business owner, sometimes that can be really difficult. I know that a lot of you probably are wearing multiple hats and filling different roles within your small business. So your health and being healthy and being able to be there and present is important. In addition, medical expenses are expensive. Having a health plan can help in sharing in those costs. So in the US, medical costs are the #1 reason for bankruptcy. This is just a sample of medical services and their costs. As you probably are aware of, it can be really expensive. So let's go one step further in thinking about your employees. Why support your employees in finding health insurance? Well, similar to what we were saying with your health, your employees' health is also important. Your employees are there to support you in running your business and growing your business. And if they're not there or if they're ill, they're not able to show up for you and support you in the way that you need so you can run that business effectively. Also, it's a great way to retain and recruit talented employees. So I always like to also point out the fact that I say support your employees in finding health insurance. And the reason why I use those words is because that can look different for various small businesses. It doesn't have to be through offering your employees a small group plan. You can support your employees in finding coverage and then finding coverage in different ways. And we're going to get into talking about that. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of different options for small businesses in accessing health insurance. So I'm going to keep it basic, and I'm going to go over 2 options to consider when thinking about how to get health insurance. So small group plans. Small group plans are purchased by the employer, and then they offer it to their employees. So with these small group plans, the employer typically has to pay a portion of their employees' monthly costs. And it's usually a percentage, and it can range from 50 to 100% of that employee's monthly cost. Also, employees, or also with certain plans, there is a minimum number of employees that need to be enrolled in that plan. So these 2 things can sometimes be a barrier for small businesses in accessing coverage. So that's where individual plans can really step in to help small businesses in getting covered. So different from small group plans, there is no connection between the employer and the employee with this health insurance. Everybody is going out and purchasing their own plan. So the employer will have their plan, the employees, each employee will have their plan, but there's no connection. So the struggle of small businesses having to have the minimum participation requirement or the having to pay a portion of their employees' monthly premiums, that's not involved with an individual plan. The other great thing about these individual plans is that it offers the ability for everybody to go out and get the plan that best fits their needs. So if you have a small business or if you have an employee that maybe needs a more robust plan because they go to the doctor more or they have medications, they can get that plan that fits their needs. And then the employee who potentially just goes to the doctor every once in a while when they're not feeling well, they can get that plan that best fits their needs. So it really offers that flexibility of plan options to the employees. This is a great option for micro enterprises. So if you don't have very many employees, this is a great way to say, hey, I'm supporting you in finding coverage. You can go out to Washington Health Plan Finder, get your own plan, and then you can get coverage for yourself as well. So where can you access these individual plans? You can do that through Washington Health Plan Finder. So to be clear, on Washington Health Plan Finder, we do not offer small group plans. All the plans offered through Washington Health Plan Finder are individual plans. So a small business owner can access coverage for themselves, for their families, and support their employees in finding quality coverage by letting them know how they can access coverage through Washington Health Plan Finder. So as I mentioned, Washington Health Plan Finder is a marketplace. What do I mean by that? So there are multiple plans, multiple carriers, all in one place to really allow small businesses to, or really allow individuals to get the coverage that best fits their needs and also their budget. It is also the only place where you can access federal subsidies and Cascade Care savings, our state subsidy that can help go towards your monthly cost of insurance and help bring down that cost. This is also where Washingtonians can determine eligibility and enroll into Washington Apple Health, which is Medicaid in our state. So these last 2 bullets that you can see on the screen here, being able to access federal tax credits and Cascade Care savings and enroll into Apple Health. This is a big thing because A lot of times small businesses, especially if you're starting out or you're a really small business, you may not have the revenue to afford health insurance. You may not have that income. These savings can really help to bring down that cost. So all of the plans on Washington Health Plan Finder are required to offer the 10 essential health benefits. So I keep saying quality plans, quality plans. So they have to offer certain benefits, such as trips to the doctor, preventive care services, behavioral health, to even be on our platform. Also, nobody is denied coverage or rated higher because they have a pre-existing condition. So how much does coverage cost? So when you fill out your application and then submit it through Washington Health Plan Finder, you will get an immediate eligibility result. And depending on your household income and your household size, will determine if you're eligible for either Washington Apple Health, Medicaid, or a qualified health, qualified dental plan. So if you are eligible for Apple Health, it is free or low cost. If you're eligible for a qualified health, qualified dental plan, those prices are going to vary. And that's based primarily on your age, your household income, your household size, and then also the county that you live in. That's because those are the main factors that determine the amount of savings that you may be eligible for, and then also what plans that are available in the county that you live in. So data that just came out showed that 68% of self-employed and or business owners are benefiting from federal tax credits. So you can see a lot of small businesses are using Washington Health Plan Finder, and over half of them are benefiting from these federal tax credits to help lower their cost of insurance. Again, these savings are going to come in the form of federal tax credits or Cascade Care savings, and they're only available through Washington Health Plan Finder. So when can you sign up? So those that are eligible for Apple Health, they can enroll year-round, so any time of year. For qualified health, qualified dental plans, you typically have to enroll during our fall open enrollment. So that starts November 1st and goes until January 15th. And that would have your coverage start the following coverage year. There are ways you can enroll outside of open enrollment, but you do need to experience what's called a qualifying life event to open that special enrollment period for you. So there's a full list of qualifying life events on our platform, but to give you an example, loss of employer coverage, a move to Washington State, and being eligible for Cascade Care savings are a qualifying life event to allow for you to enroll outside of that open enrollment time frame. So with the qualifying life events and the special enrollment periods, you typically have 60 days before or after that qualifying life event to enroll. This here is a a picture of our carriers that we have for the 2026 plan year. You can see, I said we have multiple carriers, multiple plans. You can see all the carriers that we have in our platform. So once you're ready and you're ready to enroll, this is the information that you'll need. This list is also on Washington Health Plan Finder, so don't feel like you have to write this down, but this is listed there. It's nice to kind of have everything put together beforehand, just so you're not running around, and you can have everything kind of put together and fill out the application in one sitting. One thing that I do want to point out is that when you're signing up your household, you'll want to list all household members, even if they are not enrolling into coverage. This is going to allow for you to get the best health plans and the most savings for your situation. So this is where you can sign up. This is our official website. It's www.wahealthplanfinder.org. This is a picture of what our homepage looks like. So you can see that here. We do have some lookalike sites out there, so I always like to point out what our homepage looks like. I also want to point out that sometimes we do have some facelifts or updates to our homepage. So the best way to access our page is typing in our browser, typing in your browser our website, which is, again, www.wahealthplanfinder.org, to make sure you're in the right spot when you're looking at your options. One tool that we have on our homepage is our estimating tool. So if you are curious and you're wondering, well, what savings is my household eligible for? What plans are available in the county that I live in? You can use this tool here. Just click on estimate your costs, and it'll allow for you to get that information and view the plans in the county that you live in. I'm also going to point out our Cascade Care logo here. You can see. When you're looking at the different plan options, just be on the lookout for this logo that's next to the plan that you're looking at. This just indicates you're looking at one of our Cascade Care plans. These are our high value plans. What that means is that they offer more services before deductibles. They typically have lower monthly premiums, so lower monthly costs, and they are our most popular plans. Another tool that we have is our Smart Plan Finder decision support tool. So when you are looking at the different plan options, you'll get this pop-up here on the screen that says, do you need help shopping for a plan? And this basically is a nice tool that allows for you to filter through all the plans that we have and find the one that best fits your needs. So if you have certain doctors or providers that you like to go to, or there's certain medications that you have, and you just want to make sure that the plans that you're looking at is covering that, you can put that information into this tool, and it'll filter those plans for you and raise those ones to the top. It is also good. I want to just note what it says here. It says prior to enrolling into coverage, customers should confirm their provider, facility, and or prescriptions are in the network for their selected carrier. So it's always good to just double check and make sure that this plan is in fact covering those needs that you have. All right, so we try to make our application be self-serve. So you can go in there and fill out the application on your own, but don't feel like you need to. We offer free enrollment assistance statewide. So we have navigators, we have brokers, and then we have our customer support center. They're all there to help you fill out your application from beginning to end, answer questions, help you filling out the financial portion of it, of reporting your income. As a small business owner, that part can be really tricky. I mean, sometimes your income fluctuates with the seasons. And so learning how to report that income correctly is important. The one thing you want to do when you're reporting your income is be as accurate as possible. That's because if you are eligible for a qualified health plan and are eligible for federal tax credits, if you accidentally underreport your income and receive more tax credits than you should, you may have to pay those tax credits back at the end of the year when you reconcile your taxes. So being as accurate as possible when filling out that financial portion is important. So again, reach out to one of our sisters. They can walk you through that process of how you're going to want to do that. To get connected with a navigator or broker in your community, on our webpage, if you find the link that says find support, you just put in your zip code. We also actually have a language section there too that has a drop down. You can find Korean, you can select Korean and see if there is anyone that supports in Korean in the community that you live in. Our customer support center, they offer language assistance in over 200 different languages. So if you're not able to find somebody that speaks Korean or a preferred language in your community, you can always call our customer support center and they're able to support there. All right, so I'm just going to touch on the support that I offer. So again, I'm a senior small business and employee outreach coordinator. So my role is to support small businesses, and I support them in really understanding what health insurance options that are available to them. So I'm happy to have conversations and discuss those options. I also have informational handouts. So if there is something you want to provide your employees, or if you need some information yourself and would like me to send that to you, I'm happy to do that. And the other thing that I do is I'm a connector. So as I mentioned, we offer individual plans on Washington Health Plan Finder, but sometimes small businesses are curious about some other options that are available. So they're curious about small group plans, or HRAs, health reimbursement arrangements, or health savings accounts. And they're curious about, like, how can I incorporate that into my business? Is that an option for me? Well, I work closely with brokers that are in our enrollment center, and I'm happy to connect you to one of them that support small business and are able to talk about those options with you as well. Again, my role and my goal is really to support you in finding the coverage that best fits your healthcare needs and your business needs, and then your employees. So happy to be that connector as well. But to get access to these resources, you can email me at smallbusiness@wabiexchange.org. You see the email address here on the screen. But if you just need help, enrolling into coverage, our statewide assisters are great, and they're able to help with any of those application questions. But that is it. So again, I understand that this whole world of health insurance can seem really confusing and somewhat daunting, but know that there are options that are available to you and your employees. Thank you.